Oh, we are back.
We are back.
Sorry for the delay a little bit. That was my issue and fault. Had a little personal emergency, but nonetheless, we are here. We are ready to discuss. Um, but anyways, Mondays. I'm super excited because finally, we will be dropping a new episode this Monday coming up. We were supposed to drop it last Monday, but had some audio issues. But I checked, make sure that the audio issues are good for the next episode that we're dropping. I can't wait for that. It's going to be dealing with questioning God, so I think it's dope. I think people should go check it out. So that'll be Monday on the Righteous Unity YouTube channel. Go check that out, and you'll see episode 68 uh, on the playlist. But tonight is not Monday, okay? Chris, I see you. Tonight is not Monday. Tonight is Tuesday nights, okay? Tuesday nights.
You know what time it is. Let's go. You're stalling. Let's get it.
So Tuesday nights, what happens is we have a live discussion, okay? Whoever's watching, you can put in your questions, your feedback, your comments on the topic that we are having and discussing. We want to hear from you. And this is real talk. This is what we do. We address things.
Get up there, Paulie.
Stop talking. We address things in a real way, in a real manner. This is what we do. And what we do is we allow people to be able to have that conversation with us that you may not get to have in Bible study. You may not get to have in Sunday school. And you may not get to have it if this guy is preaching on a Sunday morning. So you can get to have the conversation here, now, live. It's authentic. There are no edits. And just to let you know it's authentic, I don't know what these discussions are going to be until literally 5 minutes beforehand, sometimes even less than that. Like tonight's topic.
You got this
I
2
had
minutes ago.
no idea what we're
2
talking
minutes
about.
ago.
But nonetheless, we're prepared. Pastor Steve, this is the point of the show where I pass this off to my humble, obedient servant, Pastor Steve Foreman.
He loves saying that.
I do. And if you're watching this, whatever platform you're watching on, like this video, share this video, leave your comments. Go ahead, Pastor Steve.
All right. What I will do, and I will leave room and I will give opportunity for anybody that's watching to leave comments or make statements regarding tonight's topic, because it might sound a little critical. It might sound a little judgmental, but it's not. However, it is going to sound a little aggressive because of the nature in which this is being presented.
Fortunately for us, we don't have enough subscribers to get.
I wouldn't care if we had. I don't care if we had 1 million subscribers. That's the problem. Is like
get canceled. We don't have enough.
Why would I be worried about getting canceled if what I'm saying is of facts or truth? Like that's what's going to change people. Not me worried about making statements that are sensitive enough to keep the followers. That's crazy. That's that woke mentality you're on right now.
All right, with your Christian conservatism. Hey, listen, I'm waiting for you to break down this topic, tread lightly because Kirk's the homie, man. And that's all I'm going to say.
Some of you might know, some of you may not know that Kirk Franklin and his wife Tammy are coming out with a new, it might be out already or it's going to be out premiering this TV program called The One. And I'm going to be very upfront. One of the challenges I have, and I try to maintain an open and honest heart to maintain balance of understanding, but I'm really frustrated with the mockery of Christianity with these wannabe celebrities that are Christians and trying to bank off of celebrity status rather than being willing to commit to presenting themselves and being on a platform to present real godly and biblical character, to represent God on a public platform where they're able to show people what the meaning of Christianity is all about. Like for us to be able to start really dialing in and helping people to recognize the importance of what it means to be a Christian. And it's not about celebrating this moment, but it's about recognizing that I can enjoy the now, but live for the later.
Okay.
Okay. So this program that they have coming out is that they're basically playing matchmaker. Okay. And their goal is to try to get two people to come together. Now, here's the thing. Here's the catch. One of the catches is that they're trying to have them sift through certain conversations to see if somebody's going to last or somebody's still holding on to their player's card. Now, with me saying that, what comes to your mind immediately? Like, what's the first challenge I would have with that?
First of all, you talking about a player's card. It's hysterical to me.
That's what they're saying.
So you've watched the footage.
No,
of this.
I've read like about interviews and what
Okay.
their purpose is behind this.
Okay, so you got to hear them talk about
yeah.
the show.
So it's like, so I'm gonna see if they're still holding on to their player's card. What? If you're that far into their psyche, you should ask, are they really trying to serve Jesus?
Yeah.
Like, why not have a program to determine, are we trying to follow Christ or not?
Yeah. Well,
Oh,
let me say this.
Here we go.
Let me say this.
Here we go. This is where the show gets boring with this
It
guy.
doesn't get boring, okay? Kirk Franklin has a unique way in which he states things and says things, right? So maybe, Steve, when he's stating if they're holding on to their player's card, he's addressing whether or not they're going to stay in a fidelity.
Why should that? Then we're not. So the thing is that we're more concerned that we should be more concerned about their allegiance to virtue, their allegiance to wanting to know who Christ is and having Christ help them serve. Being able to come together with a woman does not guarantee anything.
So wait a minute. Let me give you a quick pushback on that. Is marriage godly?
Marriage is of God. The Bible says marriage is honorable in all, and the bed is undefiled.
Okay.
Meaning marriage is honorable whether somebody is saved or unsaved.
Well, that's what I was just about to get to.
I agree. Yes.
Okay.
But this is not for the world. This is.
Oh, okay.
No, I want you to go there. I want you to go there because if you're trying to tell me that the goal of their program is just taking unsaved people to try to live a happy marriage and not plan it on Christ alone first, meaning understand that a marriage is more solid on a solid foundation.
Yes.
Anything that is not connected to order will remain in disorder.
Correct.
If I'm not connected to God, my life is in disorder. No matter how many beautiful pieces I attach myself to, that is still disorder. Yes?
Yes.
So why would I then have a program to try and help people solve their infidelities or their inconsistent relationships without attaching them to Christ first?
I wouldn't do that. I would have issues with that.
Well, here we go.
Yeah, I have issues with that. I would have to question those things
because now I'm making marriage paramount rather than Christ being paramount, and then the fruit of being in Christ is going to bring out a healthy relationship, healthy mindsets that help me to bridge together with in my marriage.
Yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure in the show,
but we haven't even finished yet.
I'm pretty sure in the show that they do that. But go ahead.
I doubt it.
Go ahead.
And even if they did, again, you're putting the cart before the horse.
Yeah, I agree that interview or that snippet or that clip, that's a problem.
So, but again, my problem is it's not even so much as how like the program itself. It's the fact of why are so many Christians trying to become celebrities? I'm not, again, we've had this conversation a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of being on the platform, but it's when you're on the platform, now you want to make it about you and how great you are. First of all, they've been married for 27 years. Now they're the perfect matchmakers.
27 years. That's something we should congratulate.
I respect that. But why are you now on Front Street on national TV acting like you guys have the credentials to give them marriage advice?
Maybe they've been counseling people in the background, Steve. You don't know that.
Come on, Jack.
Let me ask you this. Hold on.
You know what?
Hold on.
You're
how many years have you been? How many years have you been married?
25. We're gonna or 24 or 23. Jesus.
Okay. Radina, if you're watching, 23 years.
Yep.
How many years have you been doing marriage counseling?
Oh, for a while.
Okay.
but I'm not putting myself on national TV to have my words.
Well, you're already kind of on national TV.
No, I'm not.
Well, not on national, but you're on TV. People know you as the chef and different things like that,
Jack,
right? You
not
got some
even
celebrity status.
Not even close. Not
Well,
even,
not to him.
Stop it.
I'm just saying you got some notoriety here. My only point is there are things that you do that a lot of people don't know about. They know you as the chef. We may know Kirk Franklin for the singing Kirk Franklin. He could be counseling people all those years and just never stated that. So when you say what gives them the qualifications to be now the wife, I'm sorry, I don't know you yet, but man, maybe she's been working alongside him doing that. But that's all I'm saying.
Okay. So let's move on to the next phase.
But once again, I will point out something that you are correct at that we need to address. The only thing I will say is this. I don't think Kirk Franklin is trying to make himself a celebrity. He already is one.
No, maintain that celebrity status. Like
maintaining it. Okay.
First of all, your Sunday's Best you're on, that failed.
Sunday's Best was all right.
It failed. It was trash.
Okay. So listen. So
you don't want to hear any of that, but that's
no.
Like I said, people, you might hear me getting critical. By all means, make your statements. Make your remarks, whatever. I'm cool with that.
Any questions, feedback, please give some pushback here. I will say this, that not even just on this type of show, but other things, it does seem like when Christians, people who profess to be Christians, when they have the platform and the world is looking at them, it seems as if they tend to dim the lights a lot to cater to maybe ratings, to cater to viewership. And maybe that may be what you're getting after. Instead of catering to, like, they would talk differently to a Christian crowd. They would make statements and claims that they don't necessarily or would make, in the room with the world. And to me, I wouldn't like that. If you're going to profess Christ, be that Christ professing person, in your interview speech in football, in your whenever,
What maintains programming to exist on the air?
You need ratings. You need viewers.
You need viewers. What keeps a viewer watching the program?
Watching a dating show or just a program in general?
Itself.
Oof. Nowadays we need some kind of drama, some kind of suspense, some kind of.
Yep. You got to curtail to their emotional state of mind.
Yes.
Not to change their emotional state of mind, but cater to it.
Correct.
Remember, I always say this. You control the crowd, what?
You control the fame.
If you control the fame,
you control the fortune.
You control the fortune. So that means in order for me to control the crowd, to keep my ratings where they need to be, where the network keeps me on air, I got to maintain or control the crowd. The way I control the crowd is by selling them what they want to hear, giving them what they like, right?
Right.
Go from there. Once you control the crowd, you control the fame, meaning the ratings maintain a high level where the broadcast keeps you. And by the broadcast keeping you, the fame continues to go and go and go. You control the fame, you do what?
You control the fortune.
You control the fortune, because now the ratings is what's going to make the broadcast have more people viewing it, which gives them the opportunity to do more commercial and more marketing on that network, because the program is getting that many viewers, which then leads to me getting more money because I'm the host of the show. My manager will be able to negotiate a better contract, renewing it if it goes on for another series.
Are you basically trying to state in a way, Steve, that the world, the people who are watching, don't want to hear of a godly view of marriage? They don't want to see this biblical view and watch this week after week. You would need to find a way to water some things down.
Absolutely.
In order to.
That's exactly what's going on, because the next step is they get to live together in a building to see how they'll react, how they'll be in the building, to find out nuances.
Okay.
How in God's name are you promoting it? Now, I understand pastors have people in their church who might still be living together and they're not married. And I understand that. You're trying to help them to understand that's unhealthy. But many people coming into the church, living together, and are unsaved. They get saved, right? And they have children. And now for them to separate, it would just disturb a lot of things. A pastor's trying to be sensitive to that, letting them know it's not good. This is not God's way. If you want God's best, you need to get married or do the right thing. But a preacher will keep that in front of them. These guys are opening up the program and inviting it in, starting it that way. That doesn't make any sense. How are you promoting biblical principles by inviting people to come and live together in a home and they're single and we're playing matchmaker?
Yeah.
That's not real issues. That's not a real issue a Christian is going to have. A real issue is the Christian is having is I'm already in a cohabitating relationship, being in the house, and I know it's wrong and I need to get out of it. I need God to help us. I need this relationship to, build to where we agree we need to be married or separate and be in separate homes for now until the thing is right. You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
That's a real issue. That's a real issue that churches struggle with. Many people in churches today, big churches, not everybody in that church is saved, and not everybody in that church, while saved, are doing the right thing all the time. So the pastor's challenge is to keep presenting the gospel, keep presenting the Christian virtues, and helping them to understand they can win in this battle. They can win in this struggle if they're willing to keep putting their faith in God, and God will begin to help them come out of those scenarios.
Are you afraid that it will take the turn like the pastors of LA, where it became a mockery
It was
in a sense more than...
Again, look at what Christian celebrity status does to the Christian faith. It makes us look stupid. It makes us look ridiculous. I mean, we have enough going against us already. We don't need to keep adding on to the foolishness. You got the snippet of this one pastor. What's his name? Michael Todd. What's his name? Mike Todd. Now, to be fair, people really haven't watched his whole snippet about him questioning.
Hey, to be fair, Kirk can say you ain't watched all his episodes.
We've watched Kurt's life long enough. We've watched Kurt's life long enough that he actually should be submitting himself to a good church and be discipled.
Hey, man.
He's living off of all of the music.
Kirk.
He's living off of all right, you know what? Bunk it. I'm going in. This man is living off of all of the celebrity status of the great music that his choirs have produced, okay? And they keep falling, they keep separating, they keep disbanding, they keep separating. Why? Because there's no good leadership up front. Okay. And then you constantly have these things of going up and down in your own spirit. I'm not against somebody going up and down. The problem is you keep going up and down and you keep getting in front of the public acting like you're all that. You're not. You're not. And you're putting a blotch on the Christian faith. And it's like anybody can do what we're doing. It's like he's got to look good. Everybody's got to look good in these celebrity statuses. It's like it's becoming a mockery. It's sad. It's unfortunate.
Well, you said at the beginning of the show.
You got some what?
Got some reactions to you opening up about Kirk. Zap Barnington or Barningon, got you. That man Kirk is nuts. And then Chris says, "OMG." But Zap didn't use man; he used the N-word. I don't know if we can say that.
No, we can't. But we respect the comment.
What? The man's keeping it 100. You know what I'm saying?
No, okay. You did state that you were going to be aggressive, and
who is it?
You did state that
Josh
you were going to
Johnson?
be aggressive, and that you did want pushback. For any of those.
I'm fine with it. But again, be consistent. Look at the whole thing. Look at all these celebrities, Christian celebrities.
Would you be more...
I'm not. Remember how we talked about
do you feel
City?
like there could be a show that could address...
The networks will not carry it.
Okay.
Remember what I'm saying. This man is on he's not sponsoring himself. It would be a big difference if, like,
continue. Go ahead. I'm not even going to, because we would The show will be canceled. Go ahead. Go ahead. You can keep going. We'll talk after. Go ahead.
It'd be a big difference if Kirk Franklin had his own network. What is wrong with you two?
Go ahead.
If he had his own network and he sponsored it and paid for it himself to do this.
Got you.
Now you can't be canceled because you're paying it with your own money. This man is on borrowed time. He's on borrowed network time. That's not him. He's being paid to host it. He's not paying for the broadcasting. So he's got to play by their rules. It's just like Christian artists. They have to play by the record producer's rules in order to get their records played and sold and distributed. Until you decide, I'm going to have my own distribution company, I'm going to have my own producer and so on. And now you can't tell me nothing. I'm going to do it my way. I'm going to say the words that Christ has given me to say. TBN, they sponsored themselves. They would have these constant marathons, to raise money so that they could do what they choose to do without worrying about any other parent network telling them, you can't say that, you got to say this.
And there's some other Christian networks as well outside of TBN.
Yeah, so the Word Network and all of them. But what I'm saying is that's sponsored by their own money. So nobody can censor what they say.
I got you.
So now you're not on that. You're not on that status.
I got to be honest. I'm going to make sure after this, because I just got word of this 5 minutes beforehand, that I'm going to make sure I watch some of these episodes and be more in tune.
It would be just like the pastors' wives of LA and the pastors of Atlanta. Like, these are corn biscuits. These people are not genuinely they're not genuinely representing the real life of pastors or pastors' wives. They're just making these celebrity things. They have to market it. They have to do scenarios that keep the people interested, getting the people to come back to viewership, to maintain viewership. Come on now. And eventually people start realizing this is whack. Look how foolish this is.
Yeah.
And if you're going to do a pastor's life, be more realistic. Why not get some real humble pastors who aren't driving Porsches, who don't live in mansions? Why don't you have that and see what their struggles are? Living in communities where many of their members are poor, and many of their members are suffering from children that are addicts, or children that are runaways, or children that are fiend out, or whatever. And pastors being committed to serving their community where there's hardly anything going on. No, you got these conversations happening where they're fussing over who's going to be lead preacher at a revival. That's the pastor's struggle.
Yeah, I agree. I do agree that, like I said,
what's going on, Paulie?
Chris says, give me relief, squash all beef. Don't let these arguments destroy us. KRS-One in 1995.
I will say this, that I do agree, and like I said, I will check out not more of the episodes. I haven't checked out any yet, so I will check that out. But I do believe that it is very, very critical and important that when the world is watching us, that we rather for them to dislike us for something that is truthful, that is honorable in the sight of God, that we can relate scripture to,
right,
than something that allows the world to focus on in individual or people,
or the entertaining piece, or the vagueness of what you're trying to accomplish.
Correct. Because I think I know at the heart of everything, it's Christ who saved our lives.
Mm-hmm.
And so no matter what we do, what we talk about, that's at the center, as Israel Houghton would say, Jesus at the center of it all, to where no matter what we do, no matter real talk, even at our jobs, there's going to be ways in which morality comes up where we're going to have those opportunities to address these things. And that should be at the center and core of who we are. Not, oh, they're a matchmaker. Oh, yeah, I seen you on TV. You the dude who did this. Instead of, man, you delivered that message. I don't agree with that message, but you delivered it. And we're not seeing that enough when we're seeing people on these broadcasting stations.
Mm-hmm.
We're not.
Mm-hmm.
Now, like you said, you can go to the Word Network, you can go to these networks and stations, and you're seeing that. But I can't really think of anything on my mind. Maybe I can think about John MacArthur when he went on Larry King live before, and
he represented Christ
yes,
very well.
he did.
He and Larry King would try to even
corner him,
and he just dealt with it.
Yeah, and
unlike another preacher that was on Larry King live,
Joel Osteen didn't.
Joel Osteen just suffered.
Osteen didn't do well on it, and he had to write a letter. But these are things that we are addressing. He was brought on a show to do that. It wasn't like his own show that they were probably, like, and so we just have to be very cognizant of that. What is the most important thing to us as believers?
Mm-hmm.
And if it isn't the gospel message, that's a problem.
Mm-hmm.
If it is the gospel message, that is going to flourish one way or the other. So, I think it's very important and critical, and I'll allow you to continue on, that's at the heart of what we do and who we are, no matter where we go, what we get on. Now, I'm not saying every interview clip, you're always going to be saying something that says, Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. But what I am saying is the people...
Answer the hard questions.
Well, yeah, answer the hard questions, but people should be able, who've been around you enough, spent time around you enough to know your stance on morality, your stance of who you serve, and be able to recognize, oh yeah, we're not gonna, like, case in point, people don't ask me to go to happy hour, and it's fine. I'm okay with that, right? I don't believe that there's anything wrong with drinking biblically.
People ask me to go to happy hour all the time, and if I can go, I'll go. Why? Ask me why.
Because you want to go back to the old days. No,
I don't even like any of that.
Just to
because
be around these
I'm building
people
a friendship.
Yeah,
I'm building a friendship where I know that while I'm not there judging them and I'm having a good conversation, I'm working towards my end goal. And my end goal is always that once you realize I'm somebody that's open and friendly and honest, when we start talking about God, you're going to get the truth about it.
Josh says that's because you won't have any friends. Happy hour this weekend.
He's talking about John or Jack?
I thought he was talking about you.
Huh?
I thought he was talking about you.
No. I was just using that as a reference. People, once they get around you, they know enough about your character to where they're going to ask certain things about you. And that's all I'm saying. Not in every moment. Somebody could see a clip of me laughing and joking and won't know anything about me being saved. But if you spend time, that's all I'm saying. And I just hope, as I watch this show, that happens. It doesn't seem like it from the interview clips that you're talking about, but I just hope that it hasn't become this washed, watered down thing where we're more caught up in trying to maintain viewership.
Yeah.
Like we don't do that here in Real Talk. We get straight to the issue. We talk about the issue.
Real issues, like real biblical challenged issues, something that people as Christians and unbelievers will go through. And we want to be able to have a dialogue where we're not quick to say, oh man, no, we don't believe that. And you should be believing this. We're like, no, let's have a conversation about it. Let's discuss it. Now let me just say this. I will extend an olive branch, okay, where I know my heart is in the right place when it comes to dealing with things like Kirk Franklin and other people. Whenever I see him, okay, he's always got to look flashy and good, always in the limelight and all that, wanting to look rich and fancy. That's not why I'm addressing this, okay? He can look however he wants to look. I'm not. It's when the content of what you're representing goes against the Bible that I have a challenge with and a problem with. And I want to know, why are you doing this? Because we always say, at the end of the day, why are you doing what you're doing?
Yeah.
Do you really think, like, I want people to ask themselves, when you start watching this called The One, do you really think you're actually going to get people to land in a solid biblical place by broadcasting this on TV? Do you think the characters that they get are really thinking about getting closer to the Lord? Or are they thinking about winning the opportunity of becoming together? And when they win, who knows what they get as prizes, or they, some special recognition, or now their name is in broadcast. They have an opportunity to build their career off of this. What is your end game? What are you really after?
Josh and Chris seem to agree especially with them believing in prosperity over mostly everything, and then Chris adds fame and money.
Right. So it's like, what? Then why? Why do it? Like you're going against the principles of the Bible. It doesn't make sense. And here's another thing. Why don't we do a program, right? If you want to really help people, why not do a program of somebody in a city who's actually helping people's lives get straightened out and put that on mainstream television and make that a program and real people with real issues that are really going through something. Not as a documentary. Well, it would be a documentary.
It would have to be.
But to really put it out there and no strings attached, raw, uncut conversations of what these people are really going through.
That's the better way to do it. From a believer standpoint, create your own, get your own network, and then create a documentary, because then you don't have to worry about each week getting ratings. You put out the documentary once or in a series and do it that way, because like you said, if you're going to do a show, a TV show, you're going to generate anything like that, you're going to need viewership, you're going to need ratings.
Yes.
And I just don't believe yet, and I could be very, very wrong, I just don't believe that at the core of the message of the gospel that people want to hear that consistently week after week after week.
And I don't think that's what you're going to get out of this program. I don't think the two people or all of the participants are going to come out with a strong biblical understanding of what of Christianity marriage is really about.
Well, to Chris's point, he says that the trouble is it will not sell. He's referring to your point that you're referencing about getting somebody who really wants to help.
I agree.
But you know what? I want to say something about that, though. But I think, and I know that's going to be a little spinoff, but we're going to go back. But I think, though, also, that's a part of us as an issue as believers, that we don't support. There's enough believers when you look at it like from polls and statistically, that there's a lot of people who believe in God, monotheistic religion, who we should be able to have enough viewership when we talk about these things for people to watch. The problem is, even us as believers are caught up in these other series and these shows, but we should be able to. So when Chris says things like the trouble is it won't sell, part of that is our problem, though,
because we won't support
right, exactly.
Yeah,
and
it's kind of like black not supporting black artists and black businesses. They'll support a white business, but they won't support a black business, meaning black people. Correct. And then we'll complain we don't have enough black businesses in the black community because you don't support them.
Right. You got hands? Okay.
Josh has a question, but I also wanted to ask a question after that. Josh says, I agree. A raw, uncut, paused show about Christianity and having those tough talks would definitely engage more people rather than they agree with it or angered by it.
Yeah, I agree.
But Josh, what? Well, go ahead. Tell them why you'd have to have your own network to do that.
Yeah, you'd have to have your own network, because as much as this nation claims to be okay with people having their First Amendment right, you have to pay attention to who owns most of the media broadcasting, and they have their own agenda and they have their own constitutional right that they want to advance and push. So we clearly see from the scriptures a traditional view on marriage. If you're going to push something that is traditional view, and most people who are owning media is against that, who's more for modern, then you're not going to last long. They're going to take you off. You're hateful, things like that. So if you want raw and uncut, you're going to have to be able to be put in a place and space where you can own that. And then you're going to need to be able to have Christians support that as well, too. And half the other problem, Josh, is a lot of Christians are probably, if this even goes viral or does anything, there's going to be more people in the comment section probably giving you pushback for addressing Kirk Franklin than to actually say, like, no, we do need more of this.
Right.
Because ultimately the reality is, you look at a lot of these Christian marriages in 10 years, not even 10, 5 years, they fail. But they fail on because of these principles and things that you're hearing from people who are not working you through those real issues that arise from the scriptures. So I'm with you. It requires getting believers to be more focused and wanting to support seeing something like that happen. You know, sometimes we're more caught up in sports than we are of these things.
What's your question, Paulie? And was there more statements?
Yeah, I wanted to ask a question, but yeah, Josh just puts out like, you know, in response to, I believe, the point of like owning these products and networks and whatnot. He was giving like YouTube and like maybe TikTok Live as a means of like.
You're right. You could do that.
There's still restrictions.
But our thing is like, how far will that go versus a major network hosting something? But I do get what he's saying. I mean, somebody could very easily have a YouTube channel and document all of those conversations and so on. Definitely, they could do that. But again, there's not enough money to at one blast, like having a major network do some. That's the problem. But go ahead. What's your question, Paulie?
And maybe this is a discussion for another live, but like maybe getting into how we criticize Christian media, maybe. Like, I know this is like a part of that conversation, but like maybe we could get into like, okay, why is it that we're always so like quick to criticize what's being preached in a video rather than I guess like confront this person ourselves. You know what I mean?
Well, I can't call up Kirk Franklin and be like, yo, dude, first of all, he's not even going to respect me.
What
he's going to look at me.
You're saying, Paulie, you know, maybe people shouldn't be so quick, you know, bashing a Christian brother if they ain't bashing worldly shows out there for their stuff.
Because the worldly show is not trying to represent Christianity proper, and the name Kirk Franklin is synonymous with Christianity proper, unfortunately. And so therefore they're using his status to try to promote this kind of
hey man, don't look
show.
At me. Look at your son who asked the question.
I'm just saying.
But I'm also thinking about what you said about the whole like supporting black business thing. Like, what is it about? And maybe this is not even a discussion we should have online, but like, is it a psychological thing? Is it like, why are we not supporting?
Well, are you asking? So make the realistic. You're making it too vague. What you're asking. So specifically, why aren't we supporting Kirk Franklin's show, The One?
No.
Why aren't we just supporting sound biblical Christian content?
Okay.
Versus the pizzazz, the thing that looks nice and well.
Yep.
Like
So
why the preachers of LA versus, you know, something else.
See, like watching William Lane Craig's debate against
or even underground Christian channels that are doing the same thing that we're doing.
Yeah, I would say that because William Lane Craig goes to different countries.
But I'm just saying, okay, I was just using that. But okay, why don't they support other YouTube channels that are dealing with subjects like ours, and instead they're going over to the ones that are more popular?
Can I answer? Can I?
Sure.
I have a state. I just believe it's because we're nurtured. Some of us come from certain churches where we're nurtured in a way in which that's what's being known, that the spotlight is on you, almost to the point that God wants you to be this star instead of God wants you to be a servant. And if he makes you that star for the world,
which we have agreed, we've already mentioned this about like other artists that are on a platform, the Grammys and so on. That's not our beef. It's the beef is, how did you get there? And what are you doing while you're there? And what are you truly representing? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Actually, shout out, I don't know if you've seen this snippet, Jackie Hill Perry. I don't know if you seen that. She was calling out some stuff, but just talking about how, you know, not believing in this lie of that Christianity was given to Africans by Europeans, but standing on it. But I mean, no, she got backlash. She got demolished. But
what do you mean she got demolished?
Like people, because Africans tend to hang more on spirituality than they do Christianity, and they feel as though you got this religion from a white man. It's a white man's religion. Mm-hmm. So when she's giving you backlash and saying that's not true, that's a lie, and actually the spirituality that you're believing in is actually more white supremacy than you think this Christianity. So anyways, she caught backlash, but it just makes me think about, you do have people who are standing up and saying things, but it isn't glamorous. And how often do we support that community? And once again, I want to say this on the show. Steve may think I'm getting politically correct here when I say that. That is a part of our First Amendment right to be able to express that and address have the freedom of religion. So nothing that Jackie Hill Perry said was wrong. I know you like to say sometimes I get politically correct.
No,
I'm just saying.
I'm the one that agrees that a lot of Christians don't know how to play in that realm of the First Amendment. They want to smash other people from saying something. I'm not.
Why you gotta use that word?
I'm not against somebody expressing themselves and their belief system. I'm not worried about that. I want you to have your freedom. It's when you force me not to have mine,
right?
But you want to have yours. That's where I have a problem.
Well, and that's where I was to that point. I'm addressing the Christian community should be definitely coming to the aid of their brother and sister in the faith when they are upholding something that is virtuous, that we can see as biblically sound, because this is a part of our First Amendment right, and it's holy and it's righteous. So we should be coming together instead of saying, we shouldn't be bashing this show.
Mm-hmm.
All right, well, let's hear more remarks and statements for us showing support for Jackie Hill.
What's going on?
So while we were talking about everything, Josh was also saying negative attention is still attention.
Mm-hmm.
Even with pushback, there is still engagement.
Yep.
Now you can break it down to people who's uneducated, if misled. And
Agreed.
It also says it's trauma, like talking about the whole like feeding into the negative thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like they was saying earlier that they appease to what you want to keep you in tune. Or tuned in.
I wonder if Kirk Franklin and Tammy Franklin are going to deal with matchmaking when they have two males or two females that they have to coach into relationship.
I don't think they would do that.
Yeah, I don't think they will let them on.
Why?
What do you mean why?
I'm just saying.
That's not their. He's always held to a traditional view. I don't see why he would do that. Once again, I'm gonna watch the.
And another thing is, how come we don't see enough people standing up? How come I don't see enough preachers?
Thank you. Qualify your statement, because a lot of times, and I already know what you're about to say, but I'm glad you say I don't see enough. But go ahead, continue.
Oh, well, then if you see some, share that with me.
You know where I came from. The South.
Oh, I don't think you know what I'm talking about.
Oh, go ahead then.
I don't see enough preachers standing up for this whole. This is about to change the whole subject, and we're not dealing with it tonight.
Oh my goodness, this guy.
I said earlier, the believer's voice of victory is wrong, and the PC chronicles are right. Question mark.
I don't know what PC means.
Correct.
The believer's voice of victory is wrong,
Right.
and the politically correct chronicles are right. Okay, yeah, I get that. I get that. That's how the world perceives it. But you got to be able to provide that pushback in the right way. Understand and listen. You want a democracy, just like we live in a democracy. You have the same First Amendment that you're arguing, fighting for. We're arguing, fighting for.
Yep.
The two great commandments is love the Lord thy God with all your heart, mind, soul, and strength. Love thy neighbor as thyself. You'll never see me treating people any differently. I've worked and allowed God to work on my heart to not just see people as doctrine, but to really see them as people and really work there. So for me, I can really say that I'm working and working on people and loving people, even if they don't agree with things biblically. But we can't be afraid to address our First Amendment rights from a righteous Bible and view, just because we're afraid of what the world may say or think or do. So you have to find a way to articulate that instead of just being like, this is what I stand on. If you don't like it, whatever, I'm moving to Texas.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead.
So there's a female swimmer who's really making a lot of noise in the sports world. And there's a lot of people supporting her. She's standing up, advocating for the fairness of keeping female sports to females who are genetically classified as females, women, instead of letting
Go ahead.
Chris says you were a good baseball player. I don't know if he's just trying to say that you're good at balls.
What is going on?
Just talk, dude. Just talk. We got 5 more minutes. Come on.
What I'm saying is that she's bold enough to stand up to advocate for women who are actually women competing in women's
Biological
sports.
women.
Biological. That's a real woman. I'm not about to say biological woman. That's a woman.
Oh my goodness, dude.
I'm just saying it's a woman. There's no other way to classify a woman, but as a woman, she's a woman.
Just go.
Okay, so stop.
No, how you speak is how you speak. I just want to state my statement is biological woman.
That's
Go
where
ahead.
you start going into political correctness of going outside the Bible references of who we are. But anyways,
It's biological.
She, a real she, is standing up for women being women in sports, okay, and competing against other women. What I'm after is she's bold enough to stand up and declare this whole distinction of genderism and separating all that and making a statement about women being women. She's not condemning people who want to identify with whatever they want to identify with. What she's asking for is the fairness of women competing against women. Now, what I'm saying is, I don't see a lot of preachers standing up dealing with the same facts as far as our constitutional standard of what a man and a woman is. We see more quote unquote non-confessing Christians making noise about this than the church itself, which is to me absolutely crazy.
So
I know we just took a left turn, but there was
that went left.
No,
very
it
quickly.
only went left in the sense of being willing to maintain a standard, even though it doesn't fit the popular narrative.
For me, like I said, growing up in the South, I've constantly seen people preach on marriage and it be traditional marriage numerous times, all the time.
What's a
addressing
traditional
it.
marriage?
Male, female,
A woman and a man.
So what I'm saying is, but that's preached in the South. Like from the time I've been growing up, that's constantly what you hear. And as well as not aborting a baby, even if
it was incest or rape or whatever.
So for me, that's what
you're saying is
I've seen it, and that's why I say I've been seeing that. So when people say like I don't see enough, I'd be like, you don't see enough.
No. What I'm saying is on regular like major networks. You know what I'm saying?
Well, ain't no major people from the South getting on there. You from the South is just people from Texas, and they're on there. They it's just more Christian conservatism, but they're on there. But for us, you don't get us making that national news or headway.
Chris was just saying it is tied to money.
Yes, I totally agree.
But actually, I will say this though. Bill Maher, I mean, he's not a believer, obviously. Bill Maher can't stand believers.
Yeah,
but he had a show.
He loves
annihilating. But he had a show where it was him.
I think I saw that.
You saw that one?
I think I know what you're talking about. Like it was actually him being like reasonable.
It was him. It was another guy. The English. I don't. Forgot his name. And then the other lady who's now a senator. She used to be in the House of Representatives. I like her. She always writes on the board. But anyways, they got the question and they were saying like how she's standing up. Same thing you're saying. She's standing up for women's rights. And I believe her name is Katie. I don't know her last name. She was just stating that I just think that she's just doing it for her publicity. She's doing it for fame. She's not really doing it for that reason. And they gave her pushback and just was stating like, no, she isn't. She's speaking up for women. Like, isn't this like what you want? Like, isn't this what you would want to see? Like a person who's honoring that, And so people are speaking up against it. But like you said, church people, But once again, that also goes back to how many shows are actually addressing Christian content anyways, period.
Yeah.
Like what station are you going to get?
Mm-hmm.
You're not going to get it. Who? You're funny. Well,
all right.
Hopefully, you guys, this is real talk. Uncut.
Question? Statement?
No, I was just looking at
If you like this video, make sure you do that. Like the video on the different platforms. Share this video. And if you have any other topics that you would like us to discuss, let us know on the different social media platforms, and we'll talk about that topic. You may see it come up in next week's live discussion, but reach out. We want to make this platform be something that caters to the audience, but we don't water down our content, so that we're not just talking about things that you don't want to hear, but at the same time, we're not trying to listen and say things that you want us to say. So make sure you check out the Righteous Unity YouTube channel, UNITEE, and there will be an episode dropping on Monday. So check that out, like that, share that, comment that, and subscribe to the channel. Anything else you want to say, Steve?
No, I'm good.
You're good? All right.
God bless
bless.
y'all. Take care. Thank you.